What's up, everybody? It's your boy Orion, and this is the biggest nootropics channel on the web. Thanks so much for watching. Check us out on the web at livecortex.com/blog, because on the bottom, on the footer, you can search any nootropic compound you want to find information about, and it'll render all of our videos that we've done on YouTube as blog posts for that particular nootropic compound. So if you want to find everything out about everything, just do that. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/cortexstacks. Product specials now, here they are.
Elite level nootropic
number one,
products.
we have a pre-made stack. It is called Cortex, significantly powerful nootropic stack. I mean, look, cut and dry. If you want focus, motivation, verbal fluency, mental energy, memory, buy a bottle of Cortex. Right now, if you use the coupon code 2424, you can get a bottle for 24 bucks. That lasts until Sunday, which is tomorrow. So if you're thinking about doing it, you got to do it now. Coupon code 24 gets you Cortex for 24 bucks right now. Ends tomorrow. If you need my help personally on anything related to nootropics, we have a consulting service. It's a 40-minute call with me. If you're new to nootropics, two good options. Number one, buy Smarter, Better, Faster. You got to start there. That teaches you everything. It's a downloadable digital book on nootropics, my favorite stacks, and cycling. And the other product, which is kind of a step up from that, is the Nootropics Starter Pack. That's like where you really want to go if you're new. Get you a bottle of our stack Cortex and Smarter, Better, Faster in kind of a package deal. Coupon code 24 applies to all that stuff right now and take some money off right now. Okay, so the question came through, and we've already talked about this before, but in the interest of like answering people's emails and doing videos about them, I wanted to do another video about it and just kind of diversify some of the stacks. User emailed and basically, some big long email, so I'm going to paraphrase, basically said something to the effect of, I've realized that caffeine and theanine is like one of the best combinations of nootropics for me. But I also realized that some of the other nootropics that I really like modafinil and Racetam and oxiracetam, that if I carefully stack caffeine and theanine with it, it actually really works well and enhances those stacks. The guy basically like wrote this list of stuff down that he takes, and he's like, caffeine and theanine for me stacks with all this stuff. And it was, I mean, there were 50 different compounds in there. There was a lot of different stacks. So he just opened up the reservoir of nootropics and realized he could stack caffeine, theanine with all that stuff. And he said, is this stackable with anything? You know, what is your take on it? Now, again, we did a video kind of similar to this some time ago, but I want to kind of change it up, and again, in the interest of answering questions, I wanted to answer it. So let me just give you some examples. Let's take modafinil, for example. Modafinil is such a strong wakefulness promoting compound. Modafinil, by the way, if you really ever want to know how to explain modafinil to people, you get the effects of a hardcore stimulant that turns your whole brain on without the stimulant feeling. Okay, so you don't feel the stimulant feeling, which can be a little annoying sometimes, frankly. I mean, I really don't. Sometimes I'll take yohimbine, and I get that feeling, but if it's in the morning and I drink some coffee, it feels awesome. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Like I want to play drums and paint and do stuff and run or whatever. But with modafinil, it's like you get that hardcore performance benefit without the stimulant effect. With modafinil, if you add caffeine and theanine to it, it's actually a really great complementary addition, but you have to be really careful with it. So 150 milligrams modafinil, probably about 100 or so, 75 to 100 or so milligrams of caffeine, and then 100 to 200 milligrams of theanine, and yes, it stacks really well with it. So that's modafinil, but you got to just kind of be careful on how you're stacking it. So if you're taking stimulant racetams, you know, here's the thing that I've come to learn with caffeine and theanine, or any other combinations of things that are stimulant-like. So here's a good example. Here's a great stack. A gram of oxiracetam, regular run-of-the-mill choline source, 100 milligrams theacrine. Now, in that stack, you might think you can't add caffeine and theanine to it because theacrine is kind of like caffeine. It's its own stimulant thing. If you add in more stimulant, it's going to be overtaxing and not feel good. You feel like you drank a couple monsters, and that doesn't really feel good. However, with that stack right there, if you brought in 50 or so milligrams of caffeine and 100 milligrams of theanine, it actually stacks really well and you feel really good. Caveat, and what I've come to learn, is that with that particular stack, if you take the caffeine up to 100 or 125 milligrams, then it does take it over the edge into being overstimulant-like, and you don't get the clean focus that you want. See, like, people riffed on us so hardcore, and people still do for the Cortex stack because it's minimal. I'm talking about 600 or so milligrams of material, in 2 capsules. But what I found is that combining uridine, CDP choline, artichoke extract, bacopa in those quantities was actually like modafinil for me. Just as a comparison, or a Drafinil, something very strong. And I was taking it before I even decided to make a business out of it, being an entrepreneur running my old company, right? Just to give you some insight on that. But that's a super minimal stack, but the ingredients are put together perfectly. That's why it works so well. So let's take, one of the most powerful stacks that I've come to learn is a modafinil racetam choline stack. So let's just say this. If you take modafinil at 100 milligrams, racetam at 150 milligrams, and then you bring in CDP choline, alpha GPC, or choline bitartrate, that's an extremely powerful stack. However, if you're careful, because racetam, even though processing-centric, is stimulant-like as well, and of course modafinil is not hardcore stimulant, but you get all the effects, but it's just not the stimulant nature. If you bring in some caffeine and theanine to that stack, it also works really well. And in this case, somewhere around 75 milligrams of caffeine, so probably about a small cup of coffee, or 50 to 60 milligrams of caffeine powder, and then 100 milligrams of theanine. That makes that stack super awesome. It really is a good complement to a lot of stacks. Now, alcar-centric stacks, acetyl L-carnitine-centric stacks, 500 milligrams acetyl L-carnitine, 100 milligrams uridine monophosphate, 80 milligrams CDP choline, that stack works really well with caffeine and theanine. You're bringing 100 milligrams caffeine, 100 milligrams L-theanine, and you've got an awesome stack. Paracetam-centric stacks, and even other basic racetam-centric stacks, paracetam, aniracetam, oxiracetam, but paracetam, 4 grams paracetam, choline source, 120 milligrams caffeine, 100 or 200 milligrams of L-theanine. Awesome synergy combination. I mean, there's so much. I mean, if you pull out yohimbine, 10, 15 milligrams yohimbine, 100 milligrams caffeine, gotta be a little careful there. 200 milligrams theanine, awesome stack. Stimulant nature from yohimbine, caffeine, a little bit stimulant, wakefulness, and then theanine calming everything down that allows you to focus for a while. That's a killer stack to wake up to. Sometimes I just do that. Okay, so the answer is largely yes, you can stack caffeine, theanine with everything, but you gotta be super careful to not overstimulate yourself. And then the theanine dose goes up per the amount of stimulant nature that's coming from the rest of the stack. Surgical nootropics administration, putting stacks together, that's really the only way to go about it. And if you do that right, you can get some pretty good effects that last a considerably long time. Okay, so hope that's been helpful. Ryan at livecortex.com if you want me to answer a question. I'd love to do it on air. Remember, right now, the Cortex stack, this ends Sunday, so you got to do it if you've been thinking about doing it. $24 for a bottle. Just use the coupon code 24, that's my cat, at livecortex.com for it's being called the only pre-made stack that works. If you really want an awesome stack that's minimal, that's pretty cheap, $24 a bottle right now. I mean, that's insane. But that is very, very powerful. Powerful like you wouldn't believe. You take it and you're like, I got that from this? That's why we call it an elite level nootropic. It's not really marketing. It's just like, that's what we put together. Use the coupon code 24 at livecortex.com and get a bottle of Cortex for $24. Pretty cheap. Okay, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Remember, that special ends tomorrow, so if you're thinking about doing it, just pull the trigger now. We'll talk to you next time.
My name is Ryan Michael Ballo. For 6 years, my sole mission has been to improve the performance of my brain. This is why I created Cortex. My mission was to build a nootropic stack that gave me extreme focus, powerful motivation, and a heightened cognitive state. And after years of experimentation and a comprehensive beta testing protocol, and putting together the most powerful nootropic compounds on the planet, I found what I was looking for.